Cool. Thanks, Matt. Hey, and before we dive into, a structured approach to advisory, just want to sort of quickly touch on this slide to those, especially newer to Figured. Figured is a cloud-based platform specifically built to handle the unique complexities of mixed farming and cropping operations. So, it doesn't really matter if you're supporting a purely cropping enterprise or a livestock-focused farm, or even a combination of both. Figured brings, all those pieces of the puzzle as such into sort of one central, like integrated platform, and it manages all the critical on-farm production data tracking, so that sort of crop performance or your livestock movements, inventory, and it's directly linking that to the financial side of the business. So all of your forecasting or your annualized sort of longer term planning, the budgeting, the comprehensive reporting out the back end of it. And Jim touched on it earlier as well, with that sort of seamless live integration with your accounting software, Xero, MYOB, or QuickBooks Online. This really ensures that everyone is working with that most sort of current financial information, right? And ultimately, Figured sort of becomes this single, reliable source of truth for the entire farming team. And we've got on the screen there, right, the farmer, the banker, advisor, accountant, consultant, whoever's in the team, to be across that same set of financial and production data. And before we jump in and have a bit of a look at this workflow in Figured, and we touched on those challenges earlier as well, around sort of time constraints, the inconsistent data, the ad hoc requests moving from, reactive to proactive. Jim, keen to throw a question your way, around, how's this type of sort of integrated way of working really changed the way you work with your farming clients?
Yeah, I guess it's the tool that can make it efficient, and that's a
Mm.
really important bit, because what we found is that we would spend lots of time. So you have a client come into the office for their regular check-in, and you'd spend 80% of the time preparing the data so that you could start to give the advice and for them to start to make decisions. And that might include, as an output, sending some information to the bank. And so you can get to that point a lot faster with the system and having that one spot. So using it as sort of the central point to bring the various aspects of their business together to one place. I mean, I often have it on the screens when someone walks in, just opening on the dashboard. If we're having a meeting with the bank or with the family, the dashboard provides a great way just to sort of give everyone immediate context around where the business is at. So it is great for that, sort of bring it all together in one place.
Yeah, really stood up. Thanks for that. Really shifting from, that older way of working you mentioned earlier around spreadsheets, and shifting to this new way around sort of a connected tech stack, really enabling those opportunities we touched on as well, from challenges, right?